Welcome to the locker room, fellow card game enthusiasts. The Open Playoffs, a battlefield of strategic prowess, awaits and demand key deck choices. Today, we are decoding the optimal approach for the tournament. Forget individual decks. It's all about mastering archetypes. Stick with us until the end to ensure you make the right decision and is battle ready for the upcoming Open Playoffs, increasing your chances of getting into top 64. That's a challenge we can take, right? The Open Playoffs has a unique format. Players can choose 3 decks to register and get 1 ban. Here's the twist. It's not about choosing the best decks. It's about mastering archetypes. In a tournament with 1 deck, sure, choose the best deck and don't care too much about archetypes. But with 3 decks and a ban, deck choices takes the back seat. Let's see how you can leverage this knowledge for your playoffs lineup. Card games are a rock, paper, scissors affair. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, and paper beats rock. Or, for clarity, mid-range beats control, aggro beats mid-range, and control beats aggro. But wait, there are combo decks too. I know, this is a simplified model, and in certain situations, the line between control, mid-range, and combo can be blurry. This is a foundational understanding but may not capture every nuance in certain situations. Let's be clear and at the same page. Control beats aggro. That means control decks typically have a wealth of removal spells and board clears, and powerful late game cards. Aggro decks, which rely on fast early game aggression, may struggle to overcome the control deck's ability to stabilize, clear the board, and gain control as the game progresses. Mid-range beats control. Mid-range decks are designed to be adaptable across different stages of the game. They often have efficient creatures and a mix of removal and threats. Against control decks, mid-range can apply enough pressure in the mid-game to make it challenging for control decks to stabilize. Mid-range decks aim to hit sweet spot where they can outvalue control decks before they reach late-game power spikes. Aggro beats mid-range. Aggro decks aim to win quickly by applying constant pressure and overwhelming the opponent before they can establish a solid defense or reach their late game. Mid-range decks, while adaptable, may not have the speed to handle the early onslaught from aggro decks. If CCGs are a rock, paper, scissors game, consider the real decision: how many aggro, control, and mid-range decks to bring to the Open Playoffs. Align your lineup with what you expect most players will register and will be ready for battle. In order to correctly predict, make sure to use some website studying meta, such as App Lore Master. If you are thinking that everyone is bringing Elder Dragon as one of their choices, how are you going to take advantage of that? If they locked one of their decks, what do you think most of them are choosing for the remaining 2 spots? Remember, it's rock, paper, scissors scenario. So if they are choosing 3 rocks, you should be choosing 3 papers, even if that means not choosing Elder Dragon as one of your decks. Shocking, but obvious, no? If everyone is banning Elder Dragon, why are you limiting yourself and playing with only 2 decks? What you should be considering by now is what deck you will ban. Will you ban Control, the mid-range, or the aggro deck of your opponent? How Elder Dragon decks are defined? That's crucial, because you are going to shape the match by the archetypes you bring, the bans you will be making, and the bans you expect to be done against you. If you think the meta is going to be filled with players choosing 2 mid-range decks and 1 aggro deck, why not build 3 aggro decks lineup and ban the aggro deck from your opponent? That would create a scenario where you'll be facing a mid-range deck for sure while piloting an aggro deck yourself. And that's a competitive edge right there, isn't it? Remember, your unique playstyle and skill are key factors in this strategic journey. I'm excited to bring this concept to the playoffs. Will you join me in this challenge? Share your thoughts on archetype mastery in the comments below. And if you are new to the game or a returning player like me, don't miss our video on snagging cards fast and free in Legends of Runeterra. Until our next critical locker room talk, bye-bye.